Hey, my name is ChrisUX. I am the founder of the Spy Agency here in Atlanta, Georgia. And today I want to talk about your value as a UX designer. And I want to share my experience from last summer when I took part in this national mobile competition where it was, I had to fly from Atlanta to Cincinnati, hop on this bus, and I had to go through 7 cities in 3 days from Cincinnati all the way down to Austin, Texas, and build a product within 3 days with my team to present in the competition. And we weren't the only bus. It was like 6 other buses across the nation, all meeting down in Austin. So we had a lot of competition on board. And on my team was just me as a UX designer, the founder, which is the business person, the marketing person, and the developer. And when I first hopped on this bus, I was under the assumption that I'd just be doing a lot of rapid research and some wireframing and prototyping, and that really wasn't the case at all. My job was the core role of a UX designer, and that's to solve problems. And I helped solve problems with everyone on my team to help us make it to the finals. So to give you some examples of that. So the founder is the business person. He's the mouthpiece. And sometimes a UX designer, depending on what role you're in, that'll be your job as well. Just talk to the stakeholders and presenting your research or presenting the information that you have. But in this case, we had a founder, and he spoke very, very well. So I was humble myself, pushing him to be the mouthpiece for the group because I feel like he can sell water to the ocean. He's that damn good. But I remember the second day we was in Chicago. We had a pitch in Chicago. We didn't win. I think we got second that day, and the investor pulled us to the side. And and like most investors that we talked to on this trip, they were like millionaires, and he was like, everybody know I have money, so everybody always trying to pitch me ideas. And like, I want to be honest with you, you only got 30 seconds to have my attention. And I took that in, like it made a lot of sense, right? So instead of us trying to pitch 3 to 5 minutes, we need to try to hook them within 30 seconds. So me as a UX designer, I have helped craft a story for our founder, George, to be able to tell his story in a way that he can hook investors within 30 seconds. So that means explain what the product is, what the problem that we're solving for, and how the investor can make a lot of money off of it. Easy, right? Because oftentimes, I go to a lot of pitching events here, especially here in Atlanta, where they may ramble on for 4 minutes, and they're not expressing what problem they're solving with it. Yes, they're saying it's a great idea, but they're not validating is it a great idea for users. That's something that users will want and pay for. They're not showing the way for investors to make their money. So I had learned to put these things together by being in this competition. So I'm helping the business person craft a story. I'm making a beautiful slide deck, and I make sure it flows in a way that we can hook the investors in 30 seconds, right? So then the marketing person, I'm also helping problem solving with the marketing person. He didn't have a lot of experience in his position. So I'll help him set up all social media accounts and then branding, make sure everything is uniform and professional looking. Helped him out. And then finally the developer. We were the only group that kept pivoting the whole competition. So like I said, the competition was 3 days. We didn't start making our final product till the night before because we kept pivoting. And so we ended up deciding to make a game, a simple game based on fitness. And we didn't have any gaming experience, so we kind of learned as we go. But to make sure we made our deadline, to make sure we had the game ready to go by the time we made it to Austin, I was on the bus on YouTube, watching YouTube videos. He needed help. He can handle the programming, but he needed help putting together the sprites that was needed. He had like a little 16-bit sprites that needed movement. So I watched videos on that, and then opened up Photoshop, and I put the sprites together and the movements that he needed, and exported it out to him so he can make the game. And that was probably the most graphic work I did the whole trip, And then I sketched out the onboarding for the game, where it could be, you gotta have a good onboarding experience, otherwise you can't retain the user. So I did do that as a designer for him as well. So putting all these things together, I was like in the center of it all, just being the problem solver. I was like the glue to the group to keep us pushing forward to make it to the finals. So I had to be able to pitch on the fly as well. So as a designer. I had to pitch. I had to help the founder with his pitches. I had to put together the slide deck. I had to help with the marketing materials with social media profiles. I had helped the developer put together the sprites and the onboarding. Oh yeah, and then on top of all that, by the time we made it to Austin, which was happening to be around midnight, we had to be ready to pitch by around 7:30 a.m. We were tired at this point. I still stayed up throughout the night to build a website from scratch to make sure you had to have an up and running website for the startup as well, for the product we were creating. And I did that as well. So I had to use all the different skills that I had and to problem solve and put stuff together to push us forward and show that's the true value of a UX designer. You're not just a pixel pusher, you're a problem solver. Like, yeah, you may be pushing some pixels here now and then, but almost anybody can do that. But you know how to solve the problem. And that's your job as a designer. And that's why I said in the previous video that every startup needs UX. The episode should be out by now. I'm not sure because I am recording multiple episodes in a day. So sorry if my timetable is a little off, but yeah, but every startup needs UX because we problem solve. So not only putting the product together, you're doing the research, you're validating the assumptions, and you helping the startup make money and save money. If you launch a product without UX, more likely you'll be wasting your money on development because all this stuff gonna be thrown out. Yeah, because as UX designer, you're helping a startup make money and save money. You're helping them make money by putting together crafting these stories and pitches and doing research and validating the assumptions, and you showing investors why they should invest in that startup, why they should give their money to the startup. That's your job as a designer on that end. And then on the other end of things, you help them save money because you're doing all this research. Why are you doing this research? And why are you crafting this product together? You're saving thousands of dollars on development. Because oftentimes when a startup skips the UX process, they end up making a product for themselves and not for the user. And of course, you as a designer, you're also advocating for the user. So you're problem solving and advocating for the user at the same time. You're playing multiple roles. You're the glue that keeps everything together, right? So I just want you to realize your value as UX designer and why you're needed and why you won't be easily be replaced. I know people are scared about technology and AI and all the other things, but as of now, like, it's the way you think and put things together what makes you valuable as a designer. You're not just a pixel pusher. You're a problem solver. You need to keep that in mind. And as a recap, like saying, and could this group could have did the job without a UX designer? Probably, but would they have made it as far as they did? I don't think so. I mean, of course, I can do I can't do a developer job because I'm not a developer. But as far as marketing and the founder, I could have did their jobs, but I probably wouldn't have been able to have done it as well as they did, like, especially the founder himself, because he was a great speaker. I mean, he had a lot of experience in it. He knew how to sell a product, and so yes, as a designer, I know how to talk to stakeholders and sell a product, but not to the level that he's on. But I saw the value in what he was doing and humble enough to assist him to make him the best person he can be while he's out there being a team player. Because also being a designer is about being a team player and collaboration. So I'm helping them, craft a story and slide decks and to really enhance the story and enhance the product. I'm helping with the marketing to make sure it's presentable and marketable for the masses. I'm helping the developer to put everything together to meet his deadline. So like I'm putting all these things together. And we did it in less than a week on a bus with no Wi-Fi. It was crazy times. And like I said, we had to make multiple stops. We had to pitch in 6-7 different cities. And we kept pivoting in our product, And even as a designer, I had to be the one to say, hey, based off this feedback, we do need to pivot. This product is not going to work. And it was a very bold move because no other group was doing it but us. But they led us to the finals as well. So I just want to take from that story to let you know to know your value as UX designer. Don't let anybody degrade you or thinking like you're just a simple graphic designer or glorified graphic designer. No, you're a problem solver. You do a lot of things, and the way you think is valuable. The thoughts in your mind, the way you see things, the way you process things, can help a startup make millions of dollars, and it can also make them save millions of dollars. And that's the power of a UX designer. But anyway, thank you for watching the video. Connect with me on LinkedIn on the ChrisUX. Like, share, subscribe. Thank you for watching.